G'day everyone, it is SDS SuperCoach. For buying SuperCoach content for you. I'm here to present the final round review of SuperCoach 2022 in round 23. So we scored 2,462 in our last score of the season, and we went up 98 spots, and we were just short of being inside the top 2K. Our final rank for season 2022 is 2003. First time I've ever gotten top 1% total score as well. So this has been my best year of doing SuperCoach. It's the highest rank I've had. So that's good. I won 3 of my 4 grand finals. That was good. One of them was I'll spoil it. I won the SDS SuperCoach League. So we'll get into that more in detail a bit later. There's a bit to get through because this will be the last SuperCoach video for 2022. And I'll be pumping out some content in the off season for SuperCoach for the 2023 season, probably whenever the team picker comes out for the 2023 season. So, yeah, look, a quick little story. Now, you may notice that I'm in a bit of a different room. I'm in my parents' bedroom. Why is that? I've dislocated my knee. So, that happened last night. So I'm in a brace at the minute. I've got my crutches next to me. I'm using a bucket to have a piss. So it's a bit of a sad life, but how did it happen? So it was about 3 a.m. If you guys know Suki Bar in Belgrave, I was walking up to the bar. It was about 3 a.m. I think it was about to shut as well. And the floor was slippery. I dislocated my knee. And so I spent about 6 hours in hospital. Got there at about 5, left at about 11. They had to put my knee back into place and do an x-ray. And so I'm bedbound for the foreseeable future. And so I'll probably pump out some AFLW fantasy content this week because I've got nothing else to do. And I don't think I've ever told you guys this. I'll need an op on this to make sure it's all good. This will be my 5th knee operation. I don't know when I'm going to do it. Hopefully it's as soon as I can schedule in. And hopefully no more knee operations because this will be number 5. I've dislocated my knee before on the right knee. And it's not fun. So hopefully it just gets a bit better throughout time. Hopefully I can walk pretty soon, maybe in a couple of weeks. I don't know. I don't really remember. The last time I dislocated my knee was like 2017. That was the left knee. So, it is what it is. And anyway, enough rambling. We're here to talk about SuperCoach. So, that's the situation I'm in. So, I'm really happy with how I've gone this season. It's a really much point talking much about the players. I mean, I haven't really thought this through too much. Now, if you guys wanted to see like all the trades that I've done, all the my rank as the season's gone on, then I made a video last week about it, so you guys can definitely check that out. I uploaded that last week. So if you guys wanted to see all my trades and all that, my trade history for this year, then you can check that out. All right, let's get into the team. Jack Sinclair, even with the tag, scored 118. I won't lie, I didn't watch too much footy. The games on Saturday didn't really appeal to me all that much. I watched all the Carlton Collingwood game. I was a bit half asleep though, or whatnot, because I didn't sleep. I've had about 1 hour's sleep. I watched the Hawks Dogs game as well. So Sinclair, I believe, got tagged. He scored 118. So I don't know if does that make him D1 for the year? It looks like it does, I believe. Unless Sinclair missed a game that I believe I was wrong about. But I believe he played every single round this season, which he did. So well done to Jack Sinclair for being D1. I got him in at about round 13. He's been a tremendous pickup. Actually, we'll rate the each player out of 10 in terms of my performance for them being on my side. I would legit give Sinclair a 9 out of 10. I don't think he's dropped below the tons since I've owned him. I believe I got him in after his bye, round 13. I know against Sydney, round 15, he scored 79, but 118, 105, and the rest have been tons. So he's been an outstanding pickup, and I was very glad to have him. Came a bit out of nowhere, to be honest. Is he a starting pick next year? Oh, yeah, I did say I haven't really planned it, but I was going to give you my thoughts on what early days, my SuperCoach 2023 premium players will be early days, but a lot can change, of course. Jordan Dawson, 74, was a little bit disappointing, but that should bring down his overall price for next year down a bit. So that's okay. So 74, I think that's the lowest score he's had since I've owned him. It was. He delivered an 8. It was his lowest score of the year. So if I had to give Dawson a score out of 10 in terms of his performance, I'd say an 8. I reckon he's done a tremendous job for me, Jordan Dawson. James Sicily, 134, finished off the season with a bang. He had like 23 touches at halftime, which was mental. Watched a bit of that. I'd give him another 8 out of 10 as well. There was a certain period where he just, around 17 to 20, where he just wasn't delivering many good scores, but that's okay. Now we need to talk about Angus Brachaw because this has been a bad trade. So in the last 2 games of the year, he scored 113, which is fantastic, and an 83. But I believe Jaden Short has outscored him by like 25 points. And I traded, first cracks come on the TV. I've lost roughly about 25 to 30 points in that trade. So if I traded Crisp instead of Short, then I'd probably be inside the top 2K. But it is what it is. I also did like a lessons learned video in my trade history in the video last week, so you guys can check that out if you want me to. It's more of a review on my trades and all that, so make sure you check that out if you haven't seen it. Angus Brachaw. Look, I got to give his performance a 3 out of 10 for me in my side because Jaden Short outscored him in the last 2 rounds, so I lost points and a trade on that. Tom Stewart, 106. Yeah, another solid Tom Stewart score. I reckon he's been a tad disappointing since having him. What's this been his 5-round average, which is when I've roughly had him for 105. That's not too bad. But yeah, look, if I had to give him a score out of 10 for my side, I'd say he's probably a 6 out of 10, just hasn't lived up to the hype that I thought he would. Jack Crisp, fair to say I'm going to be very happy to never own this bloke again. I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but seriously, he's just pissed me off too much in the second half of the year to give me 61s and there wasn't 60, you know what I mean? So 74, 77, just not confident from Crispy. So I appreciate what he did for me last season, the last month of the year, where he gave me 4 really good scores in the last 4 rounds. But I think, Crisp, thanks for everything, mate, but you'll probably never be in my side again. Dan Brosey, if I had to give him a score out of 10, legit 3. Yeah, 3 out of 10. He's been, he started well in the first half of the year, second half he's been shocking. D'Ambrosio, Dirksen, D'Ambrosio's been good cover, and Dirksen's been handy to use as a bit of a swing man. Rory Laird as my captain, 133. I believe he got tagged as well, but I didn't watch much of the game. But to get 133 as my skipper is very handy. Legit, he's been a 10 out of 10 pick for my side this year. So really happy with Rory Laird this year. He's certainly one I'll consider starting next year. Clayton Oliver, 118. I think he's been about a 9 out of 10 for me. He's just been tremendous, just one of the top mids, and I'll consider starting him next year. Tuke Miller, 104. He was my vice captain. He was a little bit disappointing considering that they were playing North Melbourne, but I believe he got tagged. Feels like all the good players got tagged. So, he scored 104, which is all right. And if I had to give him a score out of 10 this year, actually, I should probably mention there's been 8 players on my side that started in my side and it's finished. So they lasted all 23 rounds. I'll try to remember all of them. I believe it was Jack Crisp. I know. Tuke Miller, Lockie Neal, Jack McRae, Josh Dunkley, Stephen Cornelio, Will Brodie, and Paddy McCartan have been the 8 players. They've stayed on my side for the whole year. So Tuke Miller, I'd say I'd give him an 8 out of 10. He's mostly been solid. Not as good as what he was last year, but is what it is. Lockie Neal with 104. Just another solid Lockie Neal score. I'd give him I'd give him an 8 out of 10 as well. Similar to Tuke Miller, I feel like he dropped off a bit towards the back end of the year in terms of like really grouse scores and all that. His highest score in the second half of the year was 138 against Carlton. So, and other than that, that's really been the only captain score you could probably take. Oh, also 135 against the Dogs. That was pretty good. Zach Merritt, 150, paid off big time. Massive score from Zach Merritt to get last round of the season. I was considering him as captain, but unfortunately, those two scores in the 70s really let me down. So if I had to give him a score out of 10, those two scores in the 70s, I've had him for about 5-6 weeks. I'd still give him like an 8. He's had more good scores than bad scores, so that's fair enough with me. Andrew Brachaw, he's been a really solid midfielder. He's delivered me some like 130s here and there, but he can also deliver some absolute stinkers. What's been his lowest score since I've owned him? It was a 79 against the Tigers, where I don't know what happened there. I think it was my vice captain that night. So, Andrew Brachaw, one of the Brownlow favourites, and he should go really well along with Lockie Neal and Clayton Oliver. Score out of 10, probably a 7.5. Obviously, like they haven't been on the levels like Tuke Miller and Lockie Neal has been. Jack McRae, 99. He's going to be pretty cheap for his capabilities next year. We'll see if Josh Dunkley gets traded. But yeah, all in all, a disappointing year for Jack McRae. It's been one of his poorest years. And look, I'd have to give it a 7 out of 10. He just wasn't that good towards the second half of the year. Jack Seal, 125 was a grouse score for him. I believe he started slow, but he had a really good second half. So I really do appreciate that. He hasn't been as good as I would have liked. Like, he's given me a 93 and a 58. When did I bring him in? I believe I brought him in for the Carlton game. So early days, he looked really good, but then that 58 really hurt his average. So if I had to give him a score out of 10, I think he's been a touch disappointing. 125 is really good, and certainly a decent option to start next year because he's going to be pretty cheap for what he's capable of. I'll give him a 7 out of 10 in his performance on my side. I started with him as well. I traded him out round 9, and even then he gave me an 87, a 75, a 74, which was pretty frustrating. Machado Owens getting some games late in the year certainly helped my cover, so he was handy. Jai Cully played in the last round of the year somehow, I couldn't believe it. And Angwin was just my mid-defender loop. Jared Witt scored a 90. I think he's actually he's been really good this year. There were some games here where he just really struggled a bit. He got a 68, 63, 78, 86, 85, 90. But that's all right. Considering I brought him in at 380K, he's been, was he R1 this year? I'll have to look at all the stats this year. But yeah, I've been really proud of Wits this year, and he's been a really good value pick for me early in the year. So I'd give him a 9 out of 10. Sean Darcy, I feel like he's been a touch disappointing since bringing him in. There's just been too many scores around that 80 mark, the 90 mark. There's a couple of scores in the 50s have really hurt. So I brought him in round 12. So he gave me 4 tons out of, how many games is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So 4 tons in 11 games. Yeah, pretty disappointing from Darcy, but there are a lot of scores in the 90s as well, which was solid. But yeah, if I'd say I'd give him a score out of 10, I think I'd give him a 6.5. That 155 really helped that last week, but he saved my week. But yeah, I just would have thought a bit more from Shrek. Bryn Teakle, well, he was good cover for like 2 games, but really handy forward ruck loop. Marcus Bontempelli's been a terrific trade-in for me. I'd probably give him to be honest, a 10 out of 10. That 161 and 181 that he pulled off, 6 weeks ago, just fantastic. Dunkley, I've started him the whole year. There was a stretch in his year where he was just scoring, 62, 80, 67, but then he's finished off the season super strong. So for that, I'll have to give him an 8 out of 10. He's been very solid and hopefully he can stay as a forward option for next year. Luke Parker got scaled down by 6 after the siren. So that was a bit disappointing, but I think he's been a really solid pickup. I'd give him a 7.5 out of 10. Nothing wrong with him. Stephen Cornelio, a 71. That's just about got to be his lowest score of the year, doesn't it? I've had him most of the year. Oh, he scored 37. This is when the new coach came in, round 10 onwards, and his lowest score, that was his lowest score once Leon Cameron went out of the side. So I think I'd give him an 8 out of 10, considering how he's been durable for most of the season. Only missed one game. It looks really good in that midfield role, so that was fantastic. Will Brodie finish off the season strong as well? I was getting a bit concerned about him, and fair enough, but two tons to finish off the year, which was outstanding. So I'd give Brodie a 7.5 out of 10. My latest video that I posted was me just hating the Brodie pick when I picked him. But yeah, he's totally proven me wrong. He's just been a tremendous pick. Will I be starting next year? No, but really good value pick. Right here, Tim English, 102. Good to see him score a ton for the end of the year. First ton since round 19. If I had to give a score out of 10, well, I traded Isaac Heaney for him, which really hurt. So if I had to give him a score out of 10, I'd give him legit a 5, maybe a 4, because he missed games in concussion. Didn't really look the same. So is what it is. Peter McCartan, 52. So he was my cover for the year. So I'll probably give him a 6.5 out of 10. There were times where he was on the bench when I didn't need him, and I didn't need him this week. So, and then we had Jonathan Clark. So yeah, look, this is my final side, and I'd say the overall side out of 10 would be roughly 7.5, 8. I really messed up some of my trades, just trading blokes that weren't going too well, but they've just cut sick ever since. You know, Paddy Cripps has done tremendous. Christian Petrarca, well, I didn't trade out Petrarca, but Jaden Short, just highly owned players that I don't have, just seem to turn it around. And at the time, I didn't mind the idea of going against them, but it's clearly backfired, and probably the reason why I didn't finish in the top 2K. Look, quick summary from the trade video. I need to take some more risks with my trades. I think I don't need to worry about as much about luxury trading. You just got to back in your premiums unless they look absolutely crap like Chris. But yeah, look, that's probably my aim for next year. Just, you know, if there's a Darcy Cameron of next season, I'm going to go after instead of just being a bit more conservative with my trades. And yeah, I just had too many trades to play with. I'll be very interested to see how they do it next year. I reckon they should. Look, I think they'll keep it at 35. But I think, let's be honest, I don't think there hasn't been that much carnage this year, in my opinion. You had the Hewitt debacle that we had to deal with. There was still, I had to trade out. You had Gawn. Gawn was out for like 2 weeks, so Butters was out for a week. Brady Grundy was another one. So, yeah, look, in all honesty, I think I don't think COVID was as prominent as we thought it would be. I actually legit don't know anyone in my side that went out due to COVID. I'm trying to remember. I don't think there might have been some rookies, but there really wasn't anyone in health and safety protocols premiums in my side. So I've been pretty grateful for that. The only one that affected me was Jake Lloyd in round 1. I was going to pick him, but then I swapped to Crisp. Glad I didn't pick Lloyd, but it didn't help much picking Jack Crisp. So, yeah, look, I'm trying to think of what else to talk about here because, yeah, it's all done. So, yeah, look, I'll do some thank yous towards the end. Let's have a look at I should have looked at someone's season review from last year and just kind of maybe took a bit of note to see what they didn't talk about. They did and talked about. All right, so the three SuperCoach grand finals I won. Private league, the experts won by about 120 points there. Footy for Life, I won by about 106. And the main one here, Christian, I beat Christian in my own league and I won the SDS SuperCoach inaugural SDS SuperCoach League trophy. So it's a bit weird me winning it, but that's okay. Christian, I know I've been saying this for a while, but Christian, if you are watching this video, please put in the comments down below to let me know who you are, and we'll keep in touch over the off season because I did say I would reward someone for making the grand final against me if they won or lost. So Christian, if you're watching the video, let me know. So our SDS SuperCoach League rank was 1,495 for the year out of 15,000. So that's pretty good. I'll cop that. That's been a pretty good result. All right. Well, thank you so much for everyone participating in the SDS SuperCoach League. One more thing let's have a look at who won SuperCoach. Ray Magu. Well done, mate. He won pretty comfortably. And it's a big achievement to win SuperCoach, of course. So I believe his name's Jay Peterman. Pearman. I'll butchered that probably, but I will. But yeah, congratulations on him for winning SuperCoach. It's a tremendous effort for sure. And where did SuperCoach Insider finish this year? 70th. That is tremendous. That's a very good effort. If we can have a look at who won the league. Oh yeah, and unfortunate for the runner-up, Hindover Sard. Not sure how true that is, but good on him. But yeah, as I said, well done, Jay. Well-deserved winner there for SuperCoach. That was my final rank, 2003 season. Victoria rank, 1,495, and I'm a Hawthorn man. My Hawthorn rank here was 197. So is that a lot? 197 out of 2,000 people. 196 more Hawthorn fans finished above me. So I think that's a solid effort from the Hawks there, from the Hawks super coaches there. What else do I want to check? I want to check my players. So if we can have a look, let's go by defender first and let's have a look at average. Let's have a look at the blokes that we missed out. Obviously, we had Hewitt for a bit. Doherty, we never owned the entire year, and he really killed me towards the end of the year. So that was a bit of a blunder not picking him, over Brachaw when he was legit. Doherty was legit 500K a couple of weeks ago. So that kind of sucked. We had Dawson for a lot. Shannon Hearn had a really strong end to the season. So that was actually pretty surprising. Adam Sard, he was still pretty solid. Bailey Dale was a bit mediocre towards the end there. Witherden just couldn't get consistent game time. Boston, and then, Jaden Shaw with the 98.8 is pretty respectable. Is that similar to last year? I believe he got a 97 last year. So he did better than he did last year, I believe. And Jack Crisp with the 94. Never again, mate. That hurt. Let's have a look at the Ruck averages for the year. Max scored 113, scored a 74, so that would have hurt 25% of super coaches out there, 43,000 super coaches, with him scoring a 74 there. Wits and English were pretty highly owned, and so he averaged about 110 roughly. Timmy English dropped off a bit after that concussion. Brody Grundy didn't play after that. Sean Darcy, 102. So, yeah, as you can tell, it wasn't the year of the Rucks, that's for sure. Pretty disappointing year, actually, from the Rucks, who do you even who are the so obviously Gawn and Witts would have been the two that you would have gone after, but I thought Darcy had a crap year and he still finished 5th in terms of average, so is what it is. Riley O'Brien might have been a cheeky option. Okay, let's go to the forwards. Bontempelli, Dunkley and English. All the top 4 forward averages are Bulldogs players. Liberatore I didn't have. So that was probably one player I missed out on. Isaac Heaney again, 114. My God. He's a bloke I've certainly missed for the rest of the year. Yeah, that certainly hurt quite a bit. Bailey Smith didn't really get firing ever since coming back from him having a line in the club. Heaney was a big trade out that just certainly backfired. Tom Hawkins, Butters actually made a massive turnaround this year. He's another bloke. Ever since I've traded him out, I feel like he's done really well. When he missed, it was around this period. So 96, 74, 106, 120, 121, 106, 125. That's what we wanted from Zach Butters during this area of the season. So that does hurt a bit, but good on him for finishing the year strong. Yep, and then finally, let's go on to the midfielders on who averaged pretty well for the year. All right, so we got Rory Laird as the top dog there, and I believe he was the high-scoring Supercoach player for the year. So well done to Rory Laird there. He was a tremendous pick for everyone. And for all 37,000 Supercoaches around. Clayton Oliver, tremendous season. The one bloke I didn't have was Colin Mills. I felt like he didn't kill me towards the end of the year. I felt like he might have plateaued a bit. I don't know. And he 128 sort of hurts 138, but he wasn't hitting this 214, 147, 130, 167 like he was earlier in the year. So, yeah, he wasn't exactly killing me in the second half of the year. This man was Christian Petrarca. He decided to turn it on. I didn't have him at all this year. I had him for most of last year, I believe. And, yeah, these 141s, 189, 134, 136, you know. He had a really strong end to the year, so that certainly did hurt my rank as well. Paddy Cripps, I traded out, and of course he goes back to his bets when I traded him out. Of course, Walsh in play, Darcy Parish. He might be a cheeky target next year. Like that's a pretty low average for what he's capable of. You know what I mean? Under a new coach, hopefully Essendon don't fluff that up. And yeah, see how that goes. Sorry if this is a pretty long video, but this is just kind of a wrap up of my Supercoach season. So if you're still watching, I really do appreciate it. Any other blokes I'm missing? Hewitt, but I had him for most of the year. Josh Kelly, I don't feel that bad about not having him. Or Boak or Wines. Cluggage. It turned out to have a pretty good year. Luke Davies Union's going to be a bloke that's very interesting to talk about next year. Under Alistair Clarkson, a young star. And originally, I didn't rate him, but he's really turned it around. So, he's really broken out this season, and that's good to see. So he's near on North's best player. And, yeah, didn't really miss on much else. I'm glad I didn't go Ben Keys. My God. Yeah, because he was playing forward pocket, wasn't he? That obviously really hurt him. Hurts his hurt people that had him. So, and yeah, look, there's not really much else to talk about. I believe. I don't think so. Yes, as I've shown you guys my final side. Now let's go to. Yeah, let's just go to AFL Home. I'm going to do a massive thank you. All right, guys. So thank you guys for tuning into my channel for this year. I will be uploading some AFLW content in due time. I might upload a few this week since I've got nothing much else to do. So, yeah, look, just a few thank yous. Massive thank you to Luke Stubbs, who did my channel art for the year, did the logo and the cover screen or whatever you call it on my channel. Sorry, my shoulders are a bit sore from the crutches. Yeah, so he did all that, and it looks outstanding. So I highly appreciate from Luke Stubbs there. He did a ripper job there, a mate of mine. Massive thank you to everyone that's subscribed, everyone that's keep tuning into my videos. All the positive and negative feedback during the year has been very nice. And yeah, I guess we're in for a bit bigger and better 2023. Yeah, so thank you so much to everyone for tuning into my videos for the year. It really does mean a lot, and it's certainly kept me bringing, you know, more hyped up, raring to go for Supercoach 2023. I'm going to upload a lot more content for you this year. For next season. So I'll start a bit early in terms of pre-season content. So we've got a few plans up our sleeves. I'm thinking of doing a series with another Supercoacher, but there's still plenty more water to go under the bridge there, but we'll have some chats over the off season. And yeah, oh yeah, that was one. Actually, no, I might do it in a separate video since I've got a load of time on my hands. I'm going to upload another video for my early Supercoach 2023 picks. I might even do it straight away. I just haven't prepared yet. So I've thought about it a little bit in my head, but I haven't exactly figured out an answer. So Yeah, look, that's going to do for SuperCoach 2022. Thank you so much for watching. It's SDS SuperCoach, and the next, and yeah, I will be uploading small videos. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning into the channel, and press the notification bell as well, because when SuperCoach season does come back around, it's a bit harder to find SuperCoach YouTubers. So make sure you got the notification bell on when I'm uploading videos again, hopefully around December for SuperCoach. I'm going to be doing AFLW fantasy and finals fantasy footy as well that Marrera's Magic came up with. So I'm going to be uploading a bit of that as well. So the next 10 weeks, you'll still see me posting videos and all that. Probably roughly around November. November, I'll take a bit of a break. Maybe, and then whenever the team picker comes out for SuperCoach, I'll be on it. So, yeah, look, I'll stop rambling on now. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you very shortly. Cheers. Thank you. Hope you had a good year.